when you look at Abdu'l-Baha's day-to-day life, it's very easy to see how he always seemed to be a very active agent for harmony around him. He was always doing something, engaged in some task, some activity. And of course, Abdu'l-Baha had no shortage of tasks and activities to do in his life. And I mean, just a cursory glance at his life can leave you astonished as to how one person can actually manage to deal with so many complex tasks and problems coming at him all at the same time, day after day after day. But Abdu'l-Baha also recognized that, you know, our lives and circumstances are infinitely varied, and that there are times in life when it's not necessarily always so clear as to what action to take or what activity to do in this whole business of trying to be an active agent for constructive good in the world. And or you know, sometimes we might even find ourselves in situations where the situation is so delicate that even if we do have an idea of some action we could take, things might be so delicate that taking that action might only exacerbate the situation. And so Abdu'l-Baha was well aware of this variety of circumstances we find ourselves in, and he suggested that whenever we find ourselves not knowing what we need to do next, what action to take, what activity to do, or you know, what goal to set, or if we find ourselves in that kind of situation that you know, will not be improved by taking action, he suggested that there's a kind of a non-doing that can also be very helpful, that can be a kind of a passive force for harmony. And one form of this non-doing that he suggested was to simply refrain from pointing out other people's flaws, mistakes, shortcomings of various kinds, either directly or behind their backs. And his father once commented on the power of speech and the importance of learning how to moderate, to speak with moderation. He said the following: "The tongue is a smouldering fire, an excess of speech, a deadly poison. Material fire consumeth the body, whereas the fire of the tongue devoureth both heart and soul. The force of the former lasteth but for a time, whilst the effects of the latter endure a century." And so Abdu'l-Baha suggested that when we don't know what action to take to build harmony, this simple act of refraining from from speaking excessively about the flaws and shortcomings of others can actually it can open up a space in which a certain aspect of harmony can start to grow very naturally. And so I think this is an important aspect of Abdu'l-Baha's example, that he was well aware of the importance of both of these aspects of creating harmony, that of the importance of being both an active agent for constructive good, and also being this kind of passive force for harmony in our surroundings. Hi there, I'm doing these short videos throughout 2021 in honor of the centenary of the passing of Abdu'l-Baha, whose writings are the basis of my new album, Home of Light, which is coming out one song at a time throughout the year. All these short stories come from this book, Vignettes from the Life of Abdu'l-Baha, by Anna-Marie Honnold, and I hope these little anecdotes give us some glimpses into Abdu'l-Baha's life during this special year. Also, if you'd like a copy of the album, since Home of Light has been made through the support of so many friends around the world, I've decided to give it away as a gift on behalf of everybody who helped to make it. So if you'd like to receive the album, you can sign up at my website, lukeslott.com. It's linked in the description below. And in November, prior to the centenary itself, you'll receive the album as a gift in celebration of Abdu'l-Baha's life. So I appreciate if you hit the like and subscribe buttons, and if you'd like to hear the story behind the album, you can check out my podcast, A Story of Light, also linked in the description below.